I so move the Planning and Development First Time Buyers Bill 2019 on behalf of my party, and the purpose of this bill is to prevent the so-called cuckoo funds from crowding out first-time buyers out of the market in towns and cities all across this country. As you'll know, Minister, home ownership levels have already fallen to 67%, well below the EU average of 69%, and this comes from a high of over 80% home ownership back in 1991. Our concern is, without action, that home ownership rate will fall further behind. This bill is designed to level the playing field for first-time buyers and to keep the dream of home ownership alive by earmarking a specific amount of units per development for first-time buyers. The bill still allows specific build-to-rent in appropriate places, but prevents already built developments from being sold in bulk to one purchaser. This means developments that boost supply are encouraged, but purchases that simply swoop in on existing developments would be banned. REITs and PRSs are a small but rapidly expanding part of the housing sector. Additional supply is welcome in some instances, but there have been numerous cases whereby already built developments have been bought out entirely by one fund. This is crowding out first-time buyers and risking changing the characters of whole entire areas of this country. Home ownership is already under pressure, with ownership rates in Ireland, as I mentioned already, at the lowest level in half a century and below the EU average. My party, Fianna Fáil, supports home ownership, and we believe that it is an honest and just aspiration for people to have. But we need affordable housing for working people, both on the rental and the purchasing side. If we look at home ownership rates at a time when other countries, which are mentioned often, such as Germany and Austria, have expanded home ownership in that period, whilst ownership rates in our own country is going in the other direction. This bill aims to protect first-time buyers from undue competition by massive investment funds that they cannot hope to match on the open market. The bill also ensures that renting is considered as part of an overall local authority housing strategies. This will help ensure balanced communities where different tenure types are available, rather than concentrating rent only in particular areas whilst excluding first-time buyers. The bill will allow local authorities to earmark a certain percentage of zoned land, up to 30%, at the discretion of the local authority for first-time buyers. It will operate on a similar basis to the current Part 5 provisions, which ensure that 10% of units are set aside for social housing. For example, a development of 10 units must have up to 3 units available for first-time buyers to purchase. Importantly, though, Minister, each local authority under this bill must also review their housing strategy to set out its requirements for rental units over the lifetime of its own housing plan. This will ensure that a full picture of the housing market is considered when the Council sets out its future plans. The goal of this bill is to prevent bulk buying of entire developments by investment funds, thereby freezing out first-time buyers. It contains exemptions to allow build-to-rent in developments that would otherwise not have been built, as part of an overall housing strategy agreed by each local authority, whilst preventing developments already in place being snapped up by investors at the last moment. This way, investment in new build-to-rent will be allowed at the discretion of the local authority, or indeed Bord Pleanála, but they must be earmarked for rental only as part of a housing plan which is adopted at each local authority level. We believe, Minister, that action needs to be taken in this area. If you look at last year, 18,000 homes were built in this country, according to the Department's own figures. Nearly 3,000 were purchased by so-called cuckoo funds and PRS. On the other side, nearly 3,000, though, were also purchased by the state. So the state on one side, we need to build more public housing. The state needs to get involved, but we need to also protect and encourage those who wish to buy their own homes, particularly first-time buyers. And I believe, and my party believes, that this bill will go a long way to actually levelling the playing pitch for them.